So you watch this big blue guy come in and just start punching the crap out of your team. And now you're wanting to play him. But when you pick him, you're 3-10. Why? Well, I'm Frost, and I'm about to go over what makes an awesome Abrams main. Starting incredibly simple, Abrams is the pinnacle of what makes a tank in Deadlock. He's beefy, he hits hard, and he has great sustain. He has a shotgun as his primary weapon called Case Closed, which is freaking awesome and super relevant because he is a demon detective. Next are his abilities. His one is called Siphon Life. It's a circle that goes around him that sucks up people's life and does a little bit of damage. His two is a shoulder charge, which when you press it, anyone in front of you will get dragged along with you, and if you hit them into a wall, they get a slight stun. His 3 is a really nice passive called Infernal Resilience, which basically heals him for some of the damage he has taken, and his 4, which is his ult, is called Seismic Slam. You press it, you go into the air, you choose where you want to land, and anyone in that radius gets knocked up and stunned for like a few seconds. Once that happens, any son of a gun below is gonna get knocked out, and you can just punch him all you want. Now, just going over his abilities alone, it's pretty obvious that he has a lot of good sustain. He does have what makes a great tank. And truly, this makes him a lot more forgiving than most characters. But this is where the confusion arises, and this is why you're 3-10. Yes, he's a tank. Yes, he has great sustain. Yes, his whole kit is based around being in the enemy's faces. But you have to understand, you don't got mobility. Once you're in that fight, you have to take that fight. And I think the cockiness of the sustain and that damage that he does has a lot of players overestimating their ability for how long they can actually be in that fight. In general, everyone should know what their character can do in a fight, but more importantly for Abrams mains, you have to know when to push in and when to pull out. The way I like to think of it is, an awesome Abrams main is like cookies and cream. The ice cream, chill out. What I mean by that is you gotta have that nice mix of some vanilla, some nice mix of that chocolate, and that's what makes it good. So a good Abrams worth his salt won't run away once he hits 60% HP, and a good Abrams won't just keep pushing in even though he's 20% health chasing an enemy who's already long gone, because that's what makes him 1-in-15. So then what the heck is the game plan? Listen up, I'll tell you right now, my friend, green items and orange items are your best friends, because let's be honest, as we've been saying this entire time, Abrams likes to punch. You be punching people over and over and over until they're blooded. So early on, it's your spirit strikes, melee charge, melee lifesteals that you want to get, and eventually their upgrades. And really, anything that gives you health and sustains you and gives you resistances and more health is gonna be great. But now that you're suited up, how do you play? Lock in. Starting off in laning phase, you're gonna have to be real smart about punching, because any player who's played against an Abrams knows that this guy is gonna want to punch, obviously. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna press that F key to parry, right? So you gotta outthink them. You gotta bait the punches, maybe throw in a light punch, maybe run up and on them and then don't do anything, let them parry and then heavy punch them. Mix it up a bit. And matchups matter very heavily here because like we've been saying, you are close quarters combat, CQC, you are up in their face. So any characters that like that distance are gonna make things a lot harder for you. So you're gonna wanna make sure you use that terrain in your laning phase very heavily. But let's talk about your most important ability, the shoulder charge. You could take literally everything I said about baiting and mind games and all that about the punch and throw that out the window. You know why? Because once you get your shoulder charge, you can shoulder charge someone into the wall and just knock their lights out. But pause, listen. Don't heavy punch until you upgrade shoulder charge to its second tier. You know why? Because the second tier is what allows the stun duration to last long enough for you to get that heavy melee off. If you try to heavy punch before you get that second tier upgrade, I'll tell you right now, they're gonna parry you and you will be dead and you're throwing, idiot. By the way, you can press 1 while you're shoulder charging someone to activate it for that extra life and damage. Base guardians are down, now what do? It's Roman time, baby.
No.
What the fuck was that? Honestly, it depends per character, but Abrams is one of those characters that benefits greatly from roaming rather than hitting camps or really doing box runs because of his low mobility and really garbage at camp farming. So if you're roaming, honestly, there's just 2 things you're doing. You're either initiating the fight or assassination attempt, or you're jumping into the middle of the fight. If you're initiating, you're using your shoulder charge. Obviously, right? You press 2, you press 1, you punch them in the head. that's what you're gonna do. If you're hopping into the fight, you don't necessarily need to activate your 2 instantly. You could just run in the middle, activate your 1, start doing damage, really get close to the enemy, and look for a good opportunity to shoulder charge. And once you hit this stage in the game, really that's all you're gonna be doing. It's just a cycle. Find an enemy, shoulder charge, press 1, repeat. Because you have such a large health pool, you really benefit from just running into the enemy and doing damage. But listen, my dude, if I haven't repeated it enough, know when to pull out and know when to go in. If there's 4 enemies and a Holiday with her ult, don't run in there because you're gonna get grabbed and killed like that one SpongeBob episode. Remember, cookies and cream. Another important thing is your 4. It's pretty okay for initiating a fight, but more importantly, I think it's better when you're in the middle of a fight trying to end the enemies, or more underrated, if you're low, press 4 and get the fuck out of there. Now going over some counters and bad matchups, really just like I said, anyone who does a lot of poke, long range enemies, people who will do damage over time, and any items that lower your healing or really immobilize you are the things you want to look out for. Because you already have such garbage movement, if you're caught stuck, you're basically dead. In the end, Abrams is an incredibly beginner-friendly hero who I think is one of the best to learn how to play Deadlock because he has such a simple gameplay loop that is hard to master. You thrive by being in the enemy's face, but if you get too carried away, you will get punished. He really teaches you how much positioning matters in this game. But knowing that balance, having that cookies and cream is what will make you an awesome Abrams main. Hi, just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I got 3 other videos available right now, one on Paige, one on Infernus, and a tier list of my thoughts of when Venator, Graze, and those other characters got dropped. So you should check that out. If you're still sticking around, you should definitely subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment on your thoughts. Maybe you liked or disliked what I said. Let me know. Also, I'm still playing the rest of the cast on Twitch, and I'm live 3 days a week, so you should definitely come in and pop by. Okay, that's all. Thanks again, and if this is the last time you see from me, I hope you have a great life.